Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of the Fishing Teacher, and really appreciate you guys checking today's video out and spending some time with me. We're going to be talking about why beat up looking lures that are all scratched up and gnarly looking, that many times they catch more fish than a new lure. I've got some theories on this. It's definitely a reality. This is not like a gimmick or a clickbait deal. Beat up lures will definitely catch more fish under certain circumstances. So we're going to go into that in today's video. And also I'm going to really talk a little bit about how you can beat your lures up to make them look beat up without actually having to, spend the time fishing them. So we'll cover that in today's episode. Also, guys, real quick, just a reminder here, speaking of like jerk baits we're talking about here, anybody interested in booking an on-the-water jerk bait lesson with me, you can do that by going to my Facebook page, Randy Blaukat, Professional Angler, or just shoot me a private message. Do most of the trips, Stockton and Table Rock Lake here in Missouri, so get y'all set up if you want to shoot a message there. Really appreciate that. Okay, guys, here's a prime example of a beat up lure. This is a Mega Bass Vision 110 that was actually the HT Tennessee shad at one point. You can see the back there. It was sort of chrome like that. It was like that everywhere, but I caught so many fish on it and it got knocked around so much that all the paint came off it on the back, through just fishing it for, days and days and days. Now, I have seen this throughout my own fishing where you'll get one lure and there's something about that lure that just catches fish regardless what happens to the finish of the paint. I have got crankbaits before that were like a crawdad colored crankbait, and literally they caught so many fish and got banged up against so many rocks that they were either clear or bone licking because the paint had all gotten, knocked off them. Same with topwater lures, same with jerk baits and whatever. So there's two different elements to this that what I have found as far as my theory why they work the best. Number one is, you're creating something or you're showing the fish something that looks wounded. A lure out of the package looks too perfect. There's zero imperfections on it. And I think bass aren't stupid. I think they can pick up on that. And bass, being a predator, they're looking for wounded or injured bait fish. That's just easier prey for them. So when a lure looks like it's all grunged out and scratched up and beat up a little bit, I think visually they think that may be a little bit of a wounded, fish. But more important than that is normally what I have found is when you have a lure that you throw a long enough to get the paint beat off of it from catching fish or just hitting rocks or whatever with it, there's something about the action of that lure that is unique to that specific lure. Now, say for example, like this Mega Bass right here or any other lure out there, maybe there was something in the production process that just something about the lure gave off a little bit different amount of water displacement, or maybe it sounds a little bit different, the way the balancers were placed in it, or something about it was different, causing the bait maybe to have a little bit different action. Whatever it was, there's always something special about a lure like that will catch fish regardless what happens to the paint on it. I mean, I've seen it over and over again, like I said, with crankbaits and topwaters and everything. I've got some topwaters, guys, like some walking topwaters like Zara Spooks, that when you throw them in the water, they just look better. They got a wider action, they're more lively. Some of them I've thrown out there, you work the exact same Zara Spook and it looks like it's halfway dead. It just doesn't have the action. I've noticed it on every lure category out there. That's just part of the production process. So when you get a lure that looks good and runs good and starts to catch some fish, there's something special about that lure, and combined with the fact that the paint gets knocked off and grunged out, it's just one of those things that works, one of those things that, attract the bass. So you can actually do this yourself. If you get a bait that runs really good, there's a couple different things you can do with it. Take it out in the parking lot and just cast it out in the parking lot, until it just gets scratched up. Or you can take a file or a knife or a piece of sandpaper. You can rough it up yourself. I've taken a knife before and just made gouges in the side of the lure, or a file, just make it look all beat up. I mean, you can do that yourself and create that look without having to fish it for, weeks on end. So anyway, guys, just another one of those little tidbits you might put away in your fishing memory there that might help you from time to time, but it works for me pretty good. I definitely there's nothing like having an old beat up lure that you got a lot of confidence in to throw and fish, because it usually does pretty good. So Hope it helps out. We'll talk later.